This is an analysis from Alpha Business Media.
All right, let's get right into it. When you think of Nepal, you probably picture the Himalayas, right? Well, right there, a quiet digital revolution is actually taking place. Nepal's IT sector is absolutely booming. I mean, it's becoming a real contender on the global stage. But here's the catch. This incredible growth, it's built on a surprisingly fragile foundation. And that's creating this high-stakes paradox that the country is now racing to solve.
So just how big is this boom? Well, you just have to look at the numbers. Get this. In 2022, Nepal's IT service exports hit a staggering $515 million. That actually made it the country's main export product. This isn't just growth, it's an absolute explosion.
And that explosion? It's speeding up. That $500 million figure, that's a 64.2% increase from just the year before. I mean, wow. Growth like that, it's a huge signal that Nepal has really arrived as a major player in the world of IT outsourcing. So on the surface, this all looks fantastic, right? But whenever you see growth this fast, you've got to ask yourself, is it sustainable? What's the hidden risk here? What's the one thing that could bring this whole incredible success story to a grinding halt? Well, the risk boils down to one pretty shocking statistic from a World Bank report. It turns out that 91% of adults in Nepal can't perform even basic digital tasks. And there it is. That's the paradox. You've got this high-tech, booming industry thriving in a country where digital literacy is surprisingly low. It means all this growth is being driven by a tiny, highly skilled group of people. And let's be honest, that is a fundamentally unstable model.
Okay, so if we're going to figure out how to fix this, we first have to really understand it. So let's take a closer look at this skills gap. At its very core, it's a classic clash, really, a clash between the classroom and the real world of coding.
So think about it like this. On one side, you've got the tech industry, and it's moving at light speed, right? It's demanding super specialized skills and tools that might not have even existed 5 years ago. Then, on the other side, you have the universities. They're operating on a much slower, more theoretical timeline. Now, they're both doing their jobs, but it's like they're running in completely different time zones. And this table here, it really makes that gap crystal clear. Look, an employer needs a cloud engineer who knows AWS and Docker inside and out. But what's the university offering? Maybe an elective on the Introduction to Cloud Computing. You see the difference? The universities, they're great at teaching the what, the theory of how databases work, but the industry, they need to hire for the how, someone who has mastered MongoDB or React. And let me be clear, this isn't a failure of the universities, it's a structural mismatch. It's a problem of speed and how specific the needs are.
So, with this huge mismatch, what's happening? Well, Nepal's top IT companies aren't just sitting around waiting for the education system to catch up. Nope, they've started building their own parallel education system. And these are highly practical, totally market-focused, and, frankly, incredibly effective. We're talking about the rise of corporate academies.
Let's look at a few examples. Take a company called Leapfrog Technology. They have this really smart two-track system. First, their student partnership program hones in on those crucial soft skills, communication, teamwork, the stuff that's hard to teach. Then they have a paid fellowship that throws interns right into the deep end on real projects with real mentors. And what does this create? Exactly what the industry needs: well-rounded, experienced generalists who are ready to go from day one. Now, if Leapfrog is creating generalists, another company, Fuse Machines, is doing the opposite. They're tackling the gap for super high-end niche skills. Their 23-week AI fellowship is this intense, scholarship-based program that creates specialists in cutting-edge fields like generative AI and MLOps. They are, for all intents and purposes, minting the highly specialized talent that the market is just desperate for. And then you have a totally different approach, this one focused on scale. Check out Cloud Factory. They train a huge workforce for data annotation. But what's really key here is their mission. It's not just about the technical skill. They embed leadership and project management training right into their company culture. The goal is to develop the whole person, not just create task doers. But maybe the most radical model of all is Deerwalk. Get this. A US software company didn't just partner with a university, it co-founded one. The Deerwalk Institute of Technology was built to make sure its curriculum is industry relevant from the get-go, with internships literally built right into the 4-year degree. You can't get a deeper integration than that.
Now, these corporate solutions are fantastic, they're powerful, but they're also reactive. They're patching holes. To solve this problem for the long haul, Nepal needs to move beyond these isolated fixes. It needs a unified national strategy.
It's really about building a sustainable talent ecosystem for the future.
And the best framework for doing that is something called the triple helix model. The idea is simple. It's not about one group solving the problem alone. It's about creating a true partnership, a symbiotic relationship between three key players: universities, industry, and the government. And each one has a very distinct and absolutely critical role to play.
Okay, first up, the universities. They have to become way more agile. What does that mean? Well, it means moving to flexible curriculums, maybe with micro degrees that can be updated super quickly. It means making internships a deep, integrated part of learning, not just an afterthought. And it means treating those soft skills as a core subject, something you actually get credit for.
Next, what about the industry? Their job is to stop being just passive consumers of talent and become active co-creators. This means getting in there and actually co-designing courses, maybe even teaching some of them. It means scaling up formal mentorship programs and investing in the talent pipeline way earlier, through things like hackathons and sponsoring university clubs.
And finally, pillar number 3, the government. Their role is to be the great enabler. They're the ones who need to create a stable environment by reforming outdated policies. They need to give universities the freedom to actually adapt. And, crucially, they have to fix the foundational stuff, like the unreliable, slow internet that still plagues so much of the country.
So, after all that effort, what's the ultimate payoff? What's the end game? Look, it's about so much more than just filling IT jobs. This is about fundamentally changing Nepal's entire economic future by capitalizing on what is truly its greatest asset. It's young people.
The ultimate vision here is a profound transformation. It's about shifting Nepal's youth from being a source of exported labor for low-skilled jobs abroad into a source of exported knowledge for high-value digital services, all done from right there at home.
And that's really the crucial point here. Solving this skills gap isn't just about fixing an industry problem. It's a massive national opportunity. It's a chance to reverse the brain drain that's gone on for decades and to build a resilient, high-value economy that's driven by innovation, not just by money sent home from abroad.
And all of this leaves us with one final, pretty thought-provoking question. As we watch Nepal pioneer this dynamic, industry-led approach to building talent, you have to wonder, could we be watching them create a brand new blueprint? A blueprint for how other emerging economies can leapfrog their own development challenges and compete in the 21st century digital world?